guys doing? Don't forget, in reference to the history of presidents and government people that got into government before, like over 40 plus years ago, most of them came from rich families. Most of them came from certain types of accomplishments or world records. Do you understand that? Or economic records or economic scholars. Do you understand that? Most of those presidents before, like you've seen back in the 50s and 40s and 30s, most of them weren't slackers. Do you understand that? Most of them weren't eking their way into government. Most of them came from multi-million-dollar families. You understand that? People that had accomplishments. People that didn't get into government that was broke. People that had wealth. Do you understand that? Most of these politicians have gotten into government. Most of them don't have any accomplishments at all. And most of them weren't really rich either before they got into government. Do you understand that? They're belittling the system of this country by getting people in government positions that are mediocrity of their lives, or they have mediocrity. Ouch. I hurt my finger. Mediocre, I guess you'd say, or the mediocrity of, if that's even a word, the point of information that most of these people that get into government are not rich people at all. Most of them don't have accomplishments, anything to speak of. Most of them don't even know American history. So they don't even give a fuck about American history, most of these presidents and politicians. They don't give a fuck about the country. They try to immigrate, they try to bring in people that other people that don't give a fuck about the country. Do you understand this shit? Most of these presidents, in the past 40 years, President Reagan was an American, he had been in movies and TV and, accomplished in a lot of things. But some of these other politicians, most of them weren't accomplished at nothing. Most of them was failed businessmen, failed in economics, failed in their lives or their relationships. Most of them had controversies going on in their relationships, in their political parties, where these people are just an overhead cost on the people of this country and the taxpayers and corporations. And most of these politicians don't know nothing about history of America. They don't even know what my family built in this country, what my mother and father built, or what my grandparents built. Such as if my family owned any highway building companies, or church building companies, or skyscraper building companies, or warehouse building companies, or railroad building companies, or shipyard building companies, or anything. But these government people tried to tear down my parents and my grandparents all the fucking time, didn't they? These government politicians don't know shit about the country, even though they got all the database information in their government database, and yet they're playing stupid. What accomplishments do these politicians have? Terrorizing the country. Shitting on the country. Seeing if they can make themselves rich by scamming the American people in their political positions. Don't forget, back in the day, politicians had to be accomplished. They had to show some success as something for them to even enter into the political party campaign. But none of these politicians that we've seen in the past numerous decades, most of them are not accomplished. Do you understand that? Most of them are just trying to get the popular vote by making up lies and falsifications and trying to frame rich or famous people, trying to tear down the country, trying to dirty up people's faces and teeth, trying to mess up their lives for their political gain. Well, that's not what politicians was about before these people got into government. The tricks of these people is illegal. Ask politicians what my family built in this country. Ask them who my mother and father are. Ask them who my grandparents are. Make them answer the fucking question on television in an interview. Pay them for their fucking interview and ask them. Ask them who they think I am and who my parents are and what my family built in America.